Guido. It's Guido coming at you with a Tactics Talk. Welcome back, guys. Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate your support and all that good stuff. Today we have Pilgrim in a continuation of Scout Week, which I think might turn into kind of Scout Month, to be quite honest. It won't be all Scouts, but keep sending those good Scout videos because we're finding all the bushes we can find, all right? We are seeking out the maximum amount of bushes. Anyway, anywhoos, ELC, even 90. Pilgrim in a Tier 9, Tier 8 battle. No artillery. Very nice. Spawned into the north. And what is this place called? Abbey. Himmel's Abbey Dorf. He's going to show us a good place to go for a scout on 8-9. This is a fairly commonly known bush. We're going to talk about some of the ins and outs of it. He's going to get a good result because the enemy team is not very bright. Not really sure what they were doing, but we're going to let this continue and go. He's running food. He's got a camo net, which is going to be very helpful for the way that he's going to play this, at least initially. I prefer the LNES, guys. The net gives you a huge boost, but you have to stop, and it takes 3 seconds to activate. The LNES is always on. Gives you just a little extra boost. So that's my preference, but I used to absolutely love the net. Everything I had binoculars. Well, every scout I had binoculars and a net. I got a lot of work done with that. The binoculars, the amount of vision and generally burned through it this tier because you probably have your 445 is absolutely amazing with binoculars. I might want to look into that a little bit more, to be quite honest. Just set some up and see what we can do with binocs in today's day and age. But it's a similar thing with optics, guys. The optics just are better because they're always working. You don't have to stop. All right. We have entered into the place. Here we are. Couple things on this one. Numero uno. If the other scout is coming to the one that is like 10 meters away, that's a problem. You're both going to be perma-spotting each other, and there's not a whole lot of cover. People like the CS-59, which is over here on the side. He's gone actually up the ramp. If they poke out here really quickly, they might catch you getting into that bush. As you noticed, it's not really a straight shot. You do have to come down. The water will slow you down, and it's not particularly easy to get in here. So if there's a scout or a medium, with good vision, a little closer, and really even at the patent tank's position, if you've got a good scout or a medium with good vision, and you're a larger light tank than the ELC with poorer camo, even though you're carrying your camo on the move. So this is not necessarily the perfect answer, but it's a great bush if you can get into it because it's doing exactly what you want it to do in this case anyway. And look at all the snippers he's got back there behind him. He's got so many snipperinos. And these two guys, I'll stop making it pause. Stop making it pause. I will unpause it while I babble so you can watch all the shots going. This just takes forever to I laughed the first time I watched it. I'm just thinking to myself, what on earth is going on here? And I think somebody moved. The 50 TP moved up. I don't know why. He swallowed the fly. I guess he will die. I think he makes it. The patent tank, somehow, I don't know what his bounce is. I would have liked to have seen it. I don't have the cards for this one. Pilgrim just sent me the replay itself. The patent tank. He must have had some bounces. Now, he is shooting, and I don't know if he's blind firing or if guys are a little too close. It's hard to tell what's going on back there. But all the snipperinos are just doing their best to take out the Tiger II and the patent tank. And this is probably about the best passive spot. Other spots for light tanks on this map are the middle. This is a really odd one. It's not really odd, but it is a little bit different than you will see on Abbey because look how many tanks are in the middle, and there's heavies in there as well. Look how many tanks are on the 8-9 line, and then almost nothing over on the 1-2 line. In fact, there's an IS-2-2. That's it. Somehow the Super Pershing managed to get himself spotted and dead. Unbelievable. You guys, if you're back there being snippers, you should be nowhere near being spotted. So fall back a little bit. Don't let them shoot back. You got to scout forward. This is a huge mistake for you guys that are trying to work with your scouts. I see it a lot. People think that the scout's getting all kinds of vision, and they are, but they also just... I don't know why the patent left, by the way. but they crowd the scout. They get too close. They get spotted themselves. That's no good. Stay back. Use the circles. Make sure either you've got the bushes, you're far enough back from the bushes, the 15 meters, that there's no way you're going to be seen, or you're outside of their actual spotting capability, which is the yellow or the... I just noticed somehow Pilgrim doesn't have max vision on this tank. How is that even possible? Is this a new crew? It's also Smeagol My Precious, which I think this is his EU account. I'm pretty sure. He'll have to let us know down in the comment. How do you not have max vision? What is happening? I bet it's a new crew. If it's a crew that doesn't have the 2 vision skills or perks fully upgraded, this is very possible. Another reason why I would like to have optics. I don't think I saw his setup, so I don't know if he's got the field mods unlocked enough to see his equipment. I don't remember. As they started to die, while I was talking, he did sit in the bush a little bit longer than I would have. As soon as you see your mediums go past you, Pilgrim, they're providing the vision. There is a slight argument that you can see a little bit deeper for a little while, and you might share some of the spotting with them as they move up. But when all the spotting goes away, essentially, then I probably would have bailed out of that place. The other thing that this map has in terms of light tank gameplay, especially in the North Spawn, there are some good spots back here. Back in that corner with all those bushes, and up here in those bushes right there on the corner, looking towards the overhangs here in the north, that the purples, look at the AMBT and the 752 are coming. This bush line here is also useful to sit in for spotting those guys and catching the guys as they pop up and over. But Pilgrim, I think, makes a little mistake right here and goes a bit too far. I thought maybe he was going to knock a tree down and use the tree. And then I thought, ooh, I don't know about this. This seems aggressive. And it was. He got spotted. That's way too close. Even with the great camo of the ELC is going to be seen. We get quite lucky here because they miss us quite a bit. Amazing. But I'll tell you one thing about that with the ELC. It does get hit by 1. It's such a small target. It is difficult to hit in terms of just putting the pipper on it. And then, of course, when you start talking dispersion circles, there's just not much tank there. So you get a lot more misses just purely based on size. I think, Pilgrim, and I like where you're going, but I also think you probably could have turtled up in those bushes. But it was probably a better idea overall just to get completely away and make sure you're absolutely not spotted and that they don't guess that you stopped in there. And now he's coming to where I think you probably should have gone to begin with, Pilgrim, is right up into these bushes. Although... This is a well-known spot as well, and guys start to get lit, they might tend to blind shoot it. We're also in a romple stomp. Things are just about over, so we're going to try to grab some more spotting off of this guy. The Porsche 752, currently right now, as he's backing up, or back when this game was played, is cursing the ELC, if he knows what's happening. If he has any kind of clue, he's like, ah, great, that stupid ELC has somehow got close enough and spotted me. He might have guessed that bush. Potentially, I'd have taken a couple pot shots in there if I was him. I saw that guy sitting there, Pilgrim. I don't know what he's doing. I guess he turtled up into that spot because he thought the T10, the object, and the AMBT were all going to come boiling around that corner, and he didn't want to get caught out. So that's my assumption. So he pushes in, and I think it's time to move. More than likely, go grab some HP and spotting, because it's all over but the shouting here, and all the hit points are running away from you. So we'll come off carefully. That's how you do that, fellas. Just, you can go off those rocks like that. You just have to be careful. You don't want to jam the front edge of your tank into the ground or into another rock. You want to stay on your tracks as much as possible and go as slow as possible, which means you can sometimes go off the rocks and go full reverse speed to help slow yourself down. If you leave contact with the ground, that's when the damage really starts to accelerate on those kind of dismounts. So we're going to come raging in here. Possibility of going to APCR because I know I'm dealing with tanks with a lot of armor that are left in the game. They're getting gang tackled coming around here. The Skoda T50 is going to run into, I think, the 252. There it is. So he comes around the corner. Pilgrim's going to help him. Looking for that shot. Gives a little poke at him. Unfortunately, armor not penetrated. Bummer. T50 takes a big hit. I'd have followed immediately up. As soon as the T50 started moving forward, I'd go with him. Because remember, if the 252 fired, then he's got quite a long reload, and we can get in there and get around beside the guy. Boom. Shuts that guy down. Again, forward, immediately forward. That other tank's around the corner. If you're going to get anything out of it, you need to get in there quickly. And actually, we get there in time. In fact, he's going to put a little track on this guy as he runs in. And get a whole 13 more assists. Dink, tracked, boom. Look at that. Nicely done. 156 damage for the one shot. And a kill. 4,759. I think there's some extra in there because Pilgrim did mention that he got, I don't know where that is. Here's the note. What on earth? Pilgrim, where's your note? Here it is. This map, this bush, not your usual scout map, but it does go to show that using your noggin helps the team absolutely. Deployed to a little known bush. I think it's pretty well known, maybe not as often used. This is the way I would put it, because it's kind of dangerous. I've gone there multiple times and been countered. So it used to be a lot better. I don't know how many iterations of this map ago, there was a much better situation in that little spot there. Recently within the last couple of years. Metaflex back to light the enemy on cap, absolutely, and then did a little killing. There you go. So well done. He got light tank number 15, but based on the amount of assist, I'm assuming it was probably one of the first campaigns, potentially. So I think it's 5,000 for that one, 5,000 spotting, something like that. But really nifty little game, guys. That's a good result for a light tank. Anytime you're above the 4,000 to 5,000 spotting area, you've done some serious work. That's about 3 tier 8s and a couple tier 9s taken out of the game through his spotting, which is really nicely done right there, man. So there you go. A nice little example of one of the scouting spots on Abby, and especially the second half of going back and lighting guys who are going after the cap. Huge mistake on the purple guy's part, even pushing the cap. None of those tanks should have even been spotted. They should have all student bodied south and come down and tried to get back together on their decently defendable spot, which is around here-ish. And they might have had a bit of a better result, but he's able to stop or help stop that push and then come back down and clean those guys up. As I said, the southern spawn does not have as favorable a position for scouts. There actually is a spot back up here that you can get a little ELC into and can be pretty brutal because they really have to almost proxy light you to see you up in there, and you'll light them all up on this hill, and as they're popping, and they'll really have no idea where the hell you are because very few people use that. The problem with that spot, that bush, is once you go there and they're pushing, you're not getting out. You're just spotting guy, and maybe if you beat them up enough, you can do some cleanup, but there's really no way to escape that. The other place you can do it, actually there's some bushes here, you can kind of do a similar thing as Pilgrim did on his second approach, right here on this corner. And then there's some trees and bushes in the very back that you can get into as well for defending on the south spawn. That's all I've got for today, guys. Have a great one. Thanks for tuning in, and we will see ya.